Hello, I'm Brenda Zadaradido, and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. US President Donald Trump is going head-to-head with the Somali community in Minnesota, saying he doesn't want them in the US, and law enforcement agents have ramped up immigration raids in the state. It all started with inflammatory remarks from the White House.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries too. We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
Trump says Minnesota is a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity, singling out Americans of Somali descent. This comes as federal prosecutors are investigating 75 people of Somali descent for siphoning millions of dollars that were allocated for COVID-19 relief aid. They allege these funds were sent to Al-Shabaab, an armed group operating mainly in Somalia. Trump has also targeted Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar, and she's hit back.
Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage.
Sorry, I cannot hear you. I'm kind of busy.
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic. We know that he called African nations in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And so it is not surprising that he is going after black immigrants in this country. And it's certainly not surprising that he's choosing a black immigrant community that is also Muslim. But what I would like to say is that most of us are citizens. On our passport, it says we are nationals of this country. We love that Minnesota has welcomed us. Many of us have not been settled in Minnesota. We chose it as a home because the Minnesota people and the state is beautiful and very welcoming. And we are going to be here regardless of what the president has to say.
From Mogadishu to Minneapolis, Somalis have rejected Trump's remarks, and the hashtag "We're Here to Stay" is trending on several social media sites. Despite the fear of raids, Somalis are using social media and artificial intelligence to create parodies, positioning themselves as the new chosen people.
David made it our capital 3,000 years ago. The Palestinians were here thousands of years ago is ridiculous. Anybody you can actually Google this.
I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay?
Minnesota was actually promised to Somalis 3,000 years ago.
Minnesota was promised to us 5,000 years ago, a land of opportunity and heritage.
The Bible states that the land of Minnesota was promised to Abdi Salam and all of his descendants. In Genesis 12:1-7, God calls to Abdi Salam to take his wife, Halimo, and travel to the land of Minnesota.
3,000 years ago, the Somalinos landed in a land of lakes and hills, untouched by humans.
A land of endless snow, where even tea feared the cold. Here, the wind writes poetry on frozen lakes, and pride rises as quickly as the goose takes.
And so, the Somalianos claimed this frozen kingdom as their promised land, long before winter jackets were invented.
Hell no! Come on, Wayne! To the no, no, no! Come on, come on! Hell to the no! To to the no, no, no. Come on. Hell no, no, to the no, no, to the no, 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 to the no, no, to the no, no.
As an American Minnesota citizen, I feel like that two-state solution for Somalis is completely unfair, and to be honest, it's a bit anti-Somali-tic. Because if we're being real, we should just take the Americans like myself and throw us on the West Coast, like on a tiny strip of land, you feel me, and give the United States of Somalia to the right people. And before a nigga gets in my comments saying, no, I'm not getting paid by SAPAC to...
North was frozen, empty, unforgiving. But 3 centuries ago, our mothers and fathers followed a promise across the ocean. Somali hands opening a new map, Somali hearts reading the sky. Here they found a land of rivers and stars. They named it the way the wind whispered, Minnesota. And
nobody told me Somalis were this funny. Like, where have you guys been my whole life?
Fighting has reignited between Thailand and Cambodia along the disputed border months after both sides agreed to a U.S.-brokered ceasefire. The two countries share an 817 kilometers border marked by long-standing territorial disputes dating back to colonial-era maps. Tensions increased this year after deadly clashes in May and a 5-day war in July that killed 48 people. A peace deal signed in October quickly fell apart, with new landmine blasts and cross-border fighting resuming. In this latest outbreak, nearly 600,000 people have been forced to flee their homes as both governments blame each other for violating the ceasefire.
Thailand has launched airstrikes using, quote, aircraft to strike military targets in several areas to suppress attacks by Cambodian forces. The President of the United States has long said that this is one of his hallmark peace agreements, but it looks like it could be coming to an end.
Current violence might look sudden, but it's actually been going on for so many years. Number one, this conflict is about unresolved borders. This happened during the French colonial era. And basically, maps that were drawn between 1904 and 1907 left huge parts of Cambodia and Thailand unmarked, and this created a huge misunderstanding between the two countries. And most of the contested area is around the Pravihan Temple. International Court of Justice ruled that Cambodia officially owns the Pravihan Temple. There is still land around this particular temple that has not been marked. And basically the question is, who owns this land? It's because it's elevated territory, which means that there is a huge advantage to this land for military purposes. Number two, a lot of it has to do with cultural identity. The temples and borderlands involved in this dispute isn't just land, but rather they are lands that are very much a part of both countries' historical narratives. Number three, internal politics between both leaders of Thailand and Cambodia are fueling this escalation. Now in Thailand, the return of the Shinawatra family back to power in politics has completely shifted the dynamics of politics in Thailand. In Cambodia, Hun Sen, who is now officially retired, who was actually the former Prime Minister of Cambodia, continues to exert his influence and power through his son, who is now the current Prime Minister, and his name is Hun Manet. Analysts believe that Hun Sen has used this entire thing to maintain his grip on power, where he's been directing troop movements and also leaked a phone call between him and the Prime Minister of Thailand. The border has become a stage for projecting strength, and now both of these countries are facing pressure at home.
Israel's genocidal war on Gaza has weakened Hamas, but hasn't unseated them. Amid the fragile ceasefire, armed groups and militias have emerged to fight Hamas. Tel Aviv has admitted to funding these groups, although they are not included in US President Donald Trump's peace plan. These armed groups are joking to be part of running the Palestinian enclave. Let's take a closer look at who they are.
Yasser Abu Shabab led perhaps the largest group of the popular forces, with an estimated 300 men, operating in the Rafah area and parts of Khan Yunis. Israeli sources say the 31-year-old was killed recently on December the 4th. Abu Shabab's group has long been accused by the likes of UNOCHA of looting aid coming into Gaza under the watch of Israeli forces. Branded a traitor by Hamas and many ordinary Palestinians, his own family clan has disowned him and have no objections to those around him liquidating him immediately. Next up in the Khan Yunis area is Hussam al-Astal, who once worked for the Palestinian Authority. He leads a militia, the self-named Counter-Terrorism Strike Force. Experts estimate that he has tens of fighters and a well-supplied tent city near Khan Yunis, where some Palestinians in Gaza have flocked to. In the far north of Gaza in Beit Hanun and Jabalia, there's Ashraf al-Mansi's so-called People's Army, or the Popular Army Northern Forces. He is said to have 40 fighters. In October, he released a video statement warning Hamas from approaching territory controlled by his forces. To the east of Gaza City and running down the middle of the coastal stretch, another militia run by a leader called Rami Hillis is operating. And a new contender has emerged in eastern Khan Yunis, Shawqi Abu Nasira, a former PA officer and escapee from Israeli prisons. He has also issued a video challenging Hamas and declared he was eliminating their operatives. Hussam al-Astal confirmed that all these armed groups are part of a project for a new Gaza without Hamas, and said it has the backing of key Western and Arab states. Many Palestinian civilians, including tribal leaders, have denounced these groups as Israeli collaborators and have supported Hamas's crackdown on them. The question many are now asking is, will Israel succeed in using these groups to unseat Hamas, or will Hamas be able to reassert its control over Gaza?
Actually agrees with me. That is 100% true. Okay, well, okay, sorry. And yeah, it's 100% true. And keep that in mind. I will tell you a secret that I hope the New York Times and the Washington Post doesn't listen to.
That's Alex Karp, the CEO of the giant software company Palantir. And this video went viral with people speculating that he was on drugs. However, shortly afterwards, the company announced that it is launching a neurodivergent fellowship. Palantir claims Karp's behavior stems from neurodivergence and argues the program will support other people like him. But several social media users are not buying it.
This is the CEO of a company that builds software governments use for mass data analysis and surveillance. When somebody with that type of power is seen acting the way he just was, it's not just embarrassing, it raises serious national security concerns. Human rights organizations argue this company knowingly built software that enables abuses and violates due process. Palantir's technology has also been used by the US, Israel, and Ukraine for military targeting. Many argue this technology enables actions that cross ethical lines, including in Gaza. When the CEO of a company with this type of power and global influence is seen acting like a lunatic on stage, it's a major red flag.
One thing I hate this year in the media is the media loves to spin anytime somebody acts out of pocket. They love to say, oh, they're neurodivergent, and then we're not supposed to say anything about it anymore. Like totally scapegoating neurodivergency. Like when Elon gave his heart to the world earlier this year, we all know that's not what was happening, but the media just excused it as, oh, he's neurodivergent, that's why he acts the way he does. No, he's messing around.
Whatever she does, it becomes a sensation online. I'm talking about Kim Kardashian, one of the world's biggest TV celebrities. In a recent episode of the reality show, Kim, the wealthiest of the bunch, revealed she has holes in her brain, and people online suspect there might be another agenda behind revealing her low brain activity.
That's what she's going to do. She's going to say, look, I have low brain activity. I'm going to get Neuralink and it's going to be great and you should too. Because if I have low brain activity and I have all these resources, you might have it too, and you don't have the resources that I have, so you should just get Neuralink and everything will be swell. And now I'm starting to think, and this is like really tinfoil hat, I think her like trying to become a lawyer, or at least her like failing the bar exam the other day, crying about it, I think that was a setup.
Earlier this year, May 8th, 2025, Kim did a Tesla ad for Elon Musk on Instagram. He has a connection to Neuralink. This is the same company that put its first implants in humans earlier this year. This device lets you move a cursor with your mind.
The reason is because when a tech product needs mass adoption, the quickest shortcut is through cultural influence, right? And so who better to help soften public skepticism than someone who literally built an empire of normalizing whatever she touches.
That's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.